Hey everyone, we are back for another edition of crafting. We are going to be making a piggy bank out of an old plastic jar. I'm using an old peanut butter jar. So we are going to be doing that today. You will need your acrylic paints, you'll need your paintbrushes, you will need 4 bottle caps. Doesn't matter if you're using a soda cap, a beer bottle cap. I'm just using water bottle caps. So you can use any of those. You just need 4 of the same ones because your piggy bank is going to stand on all 4 of these. You will need your Sharpie from your craft box, as well as some matching scrapbook paper to match kind of like the color scheme that you're going with the piggy bank. So I'm going with like a pink and red theme today. You can go with whatever color you want it to be. Some people might go with like a blue or a purple or orange or whatever color you want to do. I'm going to do a pink bottom for the pig and a darker pink for the top. I'm going to mix some colors here. So we're going to get started. You're also going to need your hot glue plugged in. So if you want to get that plugged in right now so that it's ready to go when it's time to attach everything, then we will get started. All right, so what we're going to do is we are just going to go ahead and paint our piggy bank first. What we're going to do first is paint the bottom. You have the option if you want to paint the outside or the inside. I think that painting the outside is going to be a little bit easier just because when you're throwing coins inside of it, it could get scratched up, as well as like, you're opening it up and dumping the money out. The inside could get scratched up, whereas the outside it'll be a little bit more protected. So what we're going to do is paint the outside of this. So I'm just going to choose the pink to get started. And I'm going to use my bigger sponge brush just because I have a lot of space to cover here. And I kind of use a makeshift palette here to dump some paint out. All right. So I'm just going to take my pink paint and I'm going to paint the outside of this. Now you're going to notice right away the paint is very thin and you're going to have to put on some thick layers, but you're also going to have to let the layers dry in between. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of throw the first layer on and then let it dry for a little bit, and then we'll come back and add some more layers. And you guys can kind of be the judge of how many layers you actually need. If you are using a light color and you notice that the jar or plastic container that you're using has like an expiration date on it, what you can do is you can use nail polish remover to get it off. It'll come off very easily. You just take nail polish remover and a tissue or paper towel or whatever and just wipe it off. It'll come off very easily. You are going to want to paint the bottom of the pig. It will be a pig. But you're going to want to paint the bottom of the jar because you will see it. I know in previous crafts we didn't always paint the bottom because it was not something that was really exposed. But this one, since it's going to be laying on its side, you will see it. Whoops. So you just want to kind of add a layer to the bottom there. One thing you won't see too much is where the lid screws onto the jar, because we will have the lid on the jar when it's fully assembled. So if you don't get this part fully covered, it's not a big deal. All right, so once you have that first layer on, you're just going to leave it to dry for a couple of minutes. We'll leave that to dry and we'll get started on the pig's snout while that dries, and then we can add on another layer in a second. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little pink paint aside, and I'm going to add a little bit of red just to make it a darker pink. I just want the snout to be a little bit darker, and then that's going to be what I'm painting the snout to be. I'm just gonna add a little bit of red to it so it's a dark pink. You guys can kind of see that there. Okay, and I'm just gonna paint the lid that darker pink. Again, if you have a date that's kind of shining through, nail polish remover takes it off very, very easily. You could also hide it with a couple layers of paint, but sometimes it's just easier to just go ahead and wipe it off. So I have this dark color going. This is going to be the snout of our pig. I have the body of the pig, and then I'm going to have to do the legs of the pig in a second, which I am also going to do in the dark pink as well. You guys can do whatever colors you want. Yours does not have to be pink. It can be a couple of shades of blue. You can have 3 different colors. You can have a purple and a blue, purple pig with blue snout and green feet. This is all up to you. This is going to be your piggy bank that you're keeping your change and your coins in. You get some extra cash. Okay, so I just have those 2 things painted right there. I'm going to let them dry for a little bit before I add that second layer onto both of them. But in the meantime, I am going to paint the feet that I'm going to use for the pig. And right now I'm just using water bottle lids. Again, you can use whatever caps you want. But all of these just have to kind of be painted. There's one. And then you want to leave a little bit of time in between to let them dry because you're just going to be moving paint around if you start adding that second layer too early. If it's not a little bit dry, the paint will just kind of swipe around and it won't be very helpful. If you have paint a green, light or dark colors to change it, to make it darker or lighter to kind of fit with this kind of color scheme that I'm going with. So I'm just adding, so the pink, I just added a red to it just to make it a little bit darker. You can add mix colors to make it what you want it to be. It's completely up to you. But I think a pink pig with green feet and a purple snout would be kind of cool. Or really any combination of colors. Okay. So there's my 4 feet that I'm going to use for that. Now I'm going to go back. I did leave it for a couple minutes. I'm going to go back and add another layer of this light pink to the pig, just to kind of get some more paint on there. It's still not fully dry yet, so I am moving paint around a little tiny bit. It helps to put a piece of paper down or using a surface that you don't mind getting a little bit dirty, because there's really no right place to kind of hold this as you're painting. So I'm just kind of adding another layer on. This might be something that you need 3 layers for. You might need 4 layers. I would, if you can, leave this go for a couple hours to let it fully dry before adding that final coat on, just to make sure you're getting full coverage. So I added that second layer of light pink on. I'm now going to add a second layer of the dark pink onto the what's going to be the snout of the pig. Okay. You guys can see it's just the dark pink here. I'm adding that second layer on. I kind of started with the red, so it's not looking too bad. This might be the last layer I have to put on for that. But I might have to put another layer of pink on my pig's body here. But we will see. Okay. So you're probably getting paint all over your hand. That's all good. What you're going to do next is super simple. While those are drying and while you're kind of waiting for that opportunity to put a second or third layer on, we are going to cut out ears for our pig. So what you're going to do is you're just going to get a piece of scrap of paper that's very similar in color to your color scheme, or if you want to go with something different, you can totally do that as well. All you're going to do, I'm just using like this pink like squiggly paper just because I'm kind of going with a pink theme here. All you're going to do is you're going to cut out a triangle. So you're just going to cut 2 lines against the bottom of the scrap of paper to make a triangle. And then what you're going to do, just to make sure that they are even, because you want your ears to be even, you are just going to take your square, or I'm sorry, your triangle. You're going to press it up against the bottom here, and you are just going to cut out the outline of the triangle you just cut. That way, your triangles are exactly the same size. They have the same shape. They're going the same way. Okay, so that's the easiest way to do it. You can also trace it. You can take a pencil and trace your first triangle to make sure that they're exactly even. But it's best that, you know, you have 2 ears that are at the same size. You don't want one that's like super long and super short. So you just want to keep them even. So whichever way you want to do that, that's totally up to you. Let's put this piece of paper in my art project from earlier. As my paint pile is drying there. All right, so you just need 2 triangles for your ears, which we have. You're going to need your Sharpie, and you're going to need your dry pig body, pig snout, and pig feet. Once they're fully dry, and you might not be able to finish it tonight, and that's okay, you are going to assemble your pig. So I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to get paint all over my hand in the process because mine's not fully dry. All you're going to do, you're going to take your lid, screw it onto the pig. Oops. Okay. And you can either take black paint if you have black paint, or you can take your Sharpie. I'm going to use black paint just because mine is not completely dry yet. And you're going to put 2 dots that are going to act as the pig's nose. Okay? Then what you're going to do, you're going to put 2 dots on the top right above where the snout is. I have some mixed pink paint here, so this is like a dark pink now. Whoops. Okay, so you're going to put 2 eyes there. You are going to hot glue all of your pieces down as feet at the bottom. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Just going to put 1 there. One there. You might need a decent amount of glue. Just make sure your glue is going along the edges of where you have the bottle cap touching, because you don't want the glue to just like kind of land in the middle of the cap and not actually attach to this itself. So you're just going to put those 4 feet on there, just like that. And you're going to hold them down until the glue is able to dry. And then once it's fully dry, your pig is going to stand up nicely, just like that. Okay. My glue is not drying because my paint's still wet. But yours will stand up nicely. And then all you're going to do, what did I do with my triangles? There. You're going to take one triangle, you're going to make a slight bend, just like that, so that you have a little bend there. And along that bend, you're just going to put a little strip of hot glue. And you're going to stick it right on there. And then you're going to do the same thing. A slight bend, strip of hot glue, and right there. Okay, so now your pig has ears. The next part is completely up to you. It's kind of what you decide what you want to do. So if you want it to be like a piggy bank where you drop money in the top, you might need to ask a parent or guardian's help to just put a little slice with either a knife or a pair of scissors, or if you have like a screwdriver, you can do that as well. Just put a little slice in there so that you could drop money into it. If you don't want to do that, you can just, every time you get money, unscrew the lid, drop money in, and close it up. It's probably better concealed that way, because if you don't have a slit through the top, they won't know that you're actually putting money in there. So it's up to you how you want to do it. But other than that, you have a finished piggy bank. He is looking really adorable. He kind of looks like the pig from Toy Story. Okay, so 2 eyes on the top with the ears. This for the snout. 4 bottle caps on the bottom. My paint is not completely dry, so it's not looking too great. Yours will look much better than mine. My glue is not sticking because I don't have a fully dry thing yet. Okay, so you have 4 pieces on the bottom. He's going to stand up, and then it's completely up to you behind the ears if you want to cut a little slice in there to drop money in, or if you just want to unscrew the snout and put money in there as you receive it. But that's it. That is how you make an upcycled piggy bank with an old jar. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me at rusticraftsandcalligraphy@gmail.com. Or if you want to send pictures of your finished products, I would love to see the piggy banks that you guys make. Please email them to rusticraftsandcalligraphy@gmail.com. I love seeing pictures of the crafts you guys have been making throughout this whole camp. So please send them in. Otherwise, our next craft will be tomorrow at 4 o'clock. We're going to be making an upcycled phone case out of an old tie. So please bring your old tie and your hot glue gun ready, plugged in to go. And we will do that then. All right, guys, have a great night. See you tomorrow. Bye.